Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. I was sent the most amazing gift over the weekend. It arrived on Monday and the person has asked not to be named, so I'm going to do my best to avoid mentioning any names. And I was going through it, so I'm not doing an unveiling of the box today. You'll see bits and pieces kind of as I do things. There was these I think there's eight rolls of washi tape, which is like just beautiful. I haven't got any of them and that's super exciting. So I'm going to be using one of those today, I think. That's my plan. I think I'll be using one of them today. She also sent me, ta-da! Look, it's a whale tail punch. I am just over the moon. Over the weekend I was making lots of bauble journals. So let me show you one of those, inspired by Jen over at Bumblebee Crafts. So super cute little journals, and I was making these whale tail tabs, hand cutting them, so tracing around a template and hand cutting out them all. And I made 4 of these, and there's 2 of those in each journal. So, you know, it's hand doing them, it's fine, but they're never precise and you kind of get a bit over it, and just the time that this is going to save is going to be super amazing. So generous. You know who you are, so to you I say an incredible thank you with every fiber of my being. You have spoilt me greatly. So one of the other things, there was a whole bunch in the box, like I'm just scratching the surface, was some of these guest check tablets, books, whatever you want to call them. And, you know, as you're sort of watching TV and you're just fiddling around, playing around, and I did something and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So today, I didn't actually make anything. I was just fiddling and I could see an idea forming. So that's as far as it got. So today I'm going to take that idea and we're going to make it and see what happens, see how it comes out. So guest checks. If you don't have guest checks, you can do this with anything. You could do it with a printable, you could do it with coffee dyed paper, another type of form. Your measurements, you'll need to make up your own measurements. So for this project, I need 3 guest checks. So I'm going to tear off. I originally started with 4, and then 4 would have been great, but it didn't work for this particular project. So, you know, you can do more depending what suits. So to start off with, I might just move this out of the way. We'll get to those papers in a moment. I'm going to take this, whoops, if I can keep hold of it, and I'm going to fold up the bottom part until just below where it says guest check. So around there, and I'm going to crease it. Then I'm going to take my next one and line it up on top. And I'm going to, now, where did I fold it? Oh, I've just got to look at my ones I was fiddling with when I came up with this idea. I don't think it matters too much. Yeah, okay. I have got it right. So line them up, and this one you take to just below the perforation line. So you won't have a perforation line to go by if you're not using guest checks. So there. And then taking the third one and doing the same thing. It's kind of a waterfall. I don't know if technically it classes as a waterfall because it's kind of back to front, if you like. And then we're going to fold that one up to about the same spot. So just below that perforation line. Like so. So what we have is, then we tuck those under. So those bottom 2 tuck under. So we have a flip down here. It flips up. This flips down, flips up, flips down, and flip up, and you can write in behind as well. So that's the basic premise of what I want to make, but we're gonna, you know, pretty it up, do something fun. Now I decided to make a cover for it. Excuse me, my nose just decided it was going to have a little drippy session. So this is where these come in. This is a page of tags, freebie tags from the Junk Journal Studio. They pair with the Spring Bounty kits. It's available for free on her Kofi page. There's multiple pages of these tags in varying colours and sizes. These are the largest ones. And again, I was just having a play around and I was like, would that actually fit? And yes, it does. So I've already pre-cut the tag and I've double-sided it. So I've backed it with one of the backgrounds from Spring Bounty, which just matches beautifully. And if you look in the background on this tag, it's got that same pattern. So this pattern here is also on this tag. So that's super fun. So just going to make like a little booklet. Okay, and it's got little corners off. I think that's just kind of fun, a little bit different. And then all going according to plan, these should slot in there really nicely, like so. So we've got a little booklet that flips out, and then these will flip up and flip down. Okay, so very interactive, lots of things going on. So for a start, I think I'm going to work on the guest checks themselves. Okay, where are my papers? And I'm going to see if I can use a few of my scraps. So I'm just kind of looking at where I might want to put the trim, the paper at the top. I think I might go large on the front one because, you know, that's the front of our little bit there. So I think I'm going to go just that whole width that I've got there. Just want to trim it down. One at a time might be a good idea. Let's clear the decks a little bit. Give me space to work. I feel like I'm fighting for space right now. Well, that's not abnormal though, is it? Like, I'm always fighting for space. I've slightly amended the camera angle so I'm not working so far away from me. I'm still further away than normal, but just a little bit closer than I was in yesterday's video. It didn't go too badly. I haven't heard feedback that I was drastically off camera yesterday. That's not to say that it didn't happen, but I haven't had any feedback, so hopefully it was all good. I just don't have time to review back my videos to check for things. There's no time for that, so I rely on you guys to let me know if there's anything seriously amiss with my videos, with my content. And the lovely Mari, thank you Mari, you were such a help. Let me know in one of my older videos that my address was visible pretty much all throughout the video. So I went back and had a look at that one, and sure enough, there was the address plastered across the screen. So I was able to discover, I had to do a bit of learning, discover a way I could edit the video without taking it down and losing all the data, like the watch hours and the comments and everything. So it's all fixed. There's no address blazoned across the screen anymore. So super appreciate when you guys give me a heads up on things that might be a little amiss. Right, so that's going to be our top one. Just making sure I got it. Yes, got it the right way around. Okay, do I want to cover anything else? Do I want to perhaps cover this? And do we want to cover it in the same paper? Might get a little lost if we do. because I want to retain as much writing space but still have some of the cool details that make guest checks fun to use. No, I think I need something different because I don't want it to kind of get lost. So maybe we'll take a strip of this. Let's cut it to width first. So hopefully this will make sense for you guys, that you'll follow along with this project. It's not what I'd call a tutorial because I'm kind of working it out as I go. And hopefully that's, you know, okay for you to be able to follow along too and learn along with me. So I just want to go below that perforation, and this will just make sure the perforation doesn't come adrift. If you don't mind, well then you can leave the thank you, because the thank you is pretty cool, especially if you're doing like a gratitude journal or something, or a little gift for somebody. Might just use my mat here to make sure I'm getting it straight, because I feel like I'm in danger of not. Right, I think there should be good. Whoops, don't grab your thing underneath or both will come up. Right, and I'm just using my tacky glue just because it's going to be quick and easy to glue it down, and it won't bend and buckle and stuff so much as with the glue stick, because the guest checks of course are very light thin paper and it will curl quite a lot with glue stick, and I don't really feel like grappling with that today. Oops, careful how you do it, dear. There we go. So what we'll end up with, I think doing a different paper for each one is kind of fun. You could do different, the same paper for each one if you prefer. And I might just leave that like that with the torn edge and that peeking out underneath. I think that's kind of fun. Let's just go ahead with that. Might as well use the scrap that's got some interesting character to it. And it's wonderful to use up the scraps as well, because I have a lot of scraps from design team projects, which is wonderful. I mean, it's fantastic to have all these beautiful scraps to work with, but at the same time I want to be able to use them. So this is a great scrap project too, because we're dealing with little areas. Now do I want to put that or something else? Let's go. Got a scrap of this. This is also on the front of the tag, the stripe, yellow stripe. So that will tie in nicely with the cover. So all the links for the Junk Journal Studio will be down in the description box if you're interested in going along and checking out all the great things, whether it's a kit on Etsy or the freebies. Just wonderful, wonderful things to work with. Beautiful digitals. And a very generous creator. It is my very great pleasure to be working with generous creators and on their design teams. So kind. These people are very kind and generous with their time and with their creativity. That did not look straight. What did I do? Seems to be okay. So wonders will never cease. I didn't pay attention and it actually seems to be straight when I thought it wasn't. So one thing I keep forgetting this week, and I'm hoping I don't forget when it actually comes to the time, is I have a doctor's appointment this week. Well, I call it a doctor's appointment, but I'm not actually seeing a doctor because it's very hard to get in to see a doctor. So I'm paying the same price to go and see a nurse to get my new lot of medications for the 3-month period. And it's just like such a nuisance. I just can't be bothered, and I made the appointment. You've now got to book 4 weeks in advance, and that's why I'm thinking, like, I hope I don't forget, because I've been forgetting all week that it's coming up. Because you've got to book so far in advance. Like it used to be, you could ring up and get in the same week or the following week if you couldn't get in the same week. Now 4 weeks in advance just to get your regular medication script. Just, it's bonkers. It really is bonkers. Right. I think I might do a little torn edge as well on this one, just because I like that look on that second one we did. So that's what I've got on Thursday, on a day when I've got to prepare and get everything set for the workshop that I'm taking on Thursday night. So it's going to be a busy old day. It is going to be busy. So I'm going to have to be super organised. Yeah, I just like the text poking out below the torn edge is fun. And I'm not inking. I will ink the cover. I don't think I'll ink around the pages. I'm not planning on it anyway. I reserve the right to change my mind. You know how it goes. Crafting on the fly. It's like, oh, yeah, no, it really needs inking. Or, no, I just can't be bothered today. It's fine. So this piece I'm making will go in the giveaway journal. That's why I'm using these papers, because it all matches with the journal. Right, and what do I want across there? Need to tear a strip off this, but this is the beautiful blue page, which a couple of you have commented on this page particularly. Those of you who love blue, this is a stunning floral page, and it's got these fruit on it too. I don't know if you noticed. I'm not sure what fruit, whether it's an orange or some of them are more oval and these are more round, so I'm not sure what sort of fruit, but beautiful, beautiful pattern, beautiful colour. So very eclectic, which is the name of the journal, of the giveaway journal, is Eclectic Florals. So I'm really trying to stay true to that eclectic type feel, the mix and match, the patchwork sort of different patterns and colours. So you might want to make yours more cohesive, more or less all over the place. But these are cohesive in that it's all florals. That's the uniting feature, is that they're all florals. Oh, I left the white edge. Never mind. I didn't notice until then, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so we have lightly decorated little bits. You could decorate more, you could cover over this part, you could add a focal image, you could do whatever you like. Now they are white. I'm not overly worried about that because it is writing space. You could ink it. Like I was saying though, I'm not really into inking at this point of this particular part. Although I'm now thinking, ooh, but inking would just make it really cool. But I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm going to leave it as is, I think, and just stick with the cover. So I will ink the cover now before I forget. Just trying to keep the crumbs off to the side a little bit. Oh, excuse me. A little scratchy throat at the moment. I think because it's quite cold inside. It's beautiful outside, but cold inside. And I think the talking is just like bringing in cold air into my back of my throat a little bit. So I think that's probably where that's coming from. So I don't do a lot of talking during the day normally. It's only when I kind of get on camera and then I'm like Little Miss Chatterbox all of a sudden. Because I can't like just sit here and not talk to you guys because we're visiting. We're having some time. I hope you've got a cuppa with you, cup of coffee or tea, whatever you like to drink, and having some relaxing time, maybe crafting along, maybe not. Maybe you're just chilling out and watching, catching up on some you time, some relaxed time. That would be cool too. Right, so crumbs, crumbs, crumbs. Anyone would think I've been eating biscuits, but no, it's just the inking sponge. Right, so that's all going to sit in there. Right, to attach these. This is where the washi tape comes in, I think. So where's my washi tape? So I've chosen this one. It's got some leaves and pine cones and some birds. There's some music notes in the background. And I just thought that went with the floral theme okay. So I'm going to take my first two, line them up. Maybe I'll use my grid to make sure I'm actually straight, because otherwise it's going to stick out the side of my cover and I don't really want it to do that. Oops. Come on. Line it up. Looks pretty good there. Carefully so it doesn't move on me. And so this way's up. So I've got to bear that in mind because it is a directional washi tape. The birdies, don't want the birdies upside down. Right. And I'm going to put it across that join there. Now ordinarily I would use glue stick on the washi tape just to make sure it sticks okay. But I think I'm just going to pop this down, and then if it starts to lift, I'll go in with my tacky glue and just pop some in underneath where it's lifting, which is how I fix ones in my personal journal that I find might be coming adrift a little bit. Right, so that's our first one. Then we'll take that one and line up this one. Again, let's line it up on my mat to try and get it all as straight as we can. That's looking pretty good. And tape these two together. Like so. I prefer to go over and then trim it off. That's my preferred way, just to make sure I get coverage right across. Okay. I thought I'd done it the wrong way, but no, I just folded it the wrong way. So what we have now, this is all together. So we have our top one, folds up. The second one folds up, and then the third one, and then that will fold up as well. And then all of these tuck in, like you could have them sitting over top if you preferred, like so. And then open them that way, but I like them being tucked under. But you could absolutely go whichever way you choose on that. Either would look good. If you have them sitting on top, then obviously you've got those different papers showing, which is really lovely as well. But I like that these are tucked under, which holds them closed. Okay, so it's just the top one that's loose for now. I have a plan on that. And that is where this wonderful beast comes into play. So I need to choose a paper that I would like. It will be visible on the back. So need to think about how it's all going to work together and look. Yep, it all fits nicely, which is great. I don't think that, no, we're not going to get one out of that. We could use the blue. Let's use the blue. And look, it's going to take me so long to make a whale tail. Ta-da! It's the small things, guys. It really is. Like, this is just magic. It's just awesome. Makes me so happy. Oh my gosh, you guys are just the most incredible people. You know, not because you buy me things, because like some of you do, or that you give me things, not necessarily buy them, but you give them. Whether you support me on Patreon or support me here watching videos, commenting and stuff, you're all amazing. And I thank you so very much for joining me here. You truly do make a difference in my life and in this business we call YouTube. Right, so they're all attached now. That they're not coming adrift, unless my washi tape gives way. In that case, I'll just tacky glue it. So I'm going to pop this on here. So I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a curl around. So rather than the sharp crease, it needs to have like almost like a rounded kind of top, a little bit, because of the thickness of all the layers. So I'm just bending it over the scissors to try and get that curve in there. Okay, so I'm going to position it where I want it, and then I'm going to come in and just glue it at the top here, just where it folds over onto the front, just a little bit, or I could probably do a bit more than that, but that'll do for now, because what I want it to act as is a little tuck for this top sheet to flip under. See that? Just tucks under there, it keeps it all nice and in place. And you could glue that down on the back, but I want to be able to flip all the pages up so that we can write on this part as well. So I'm just going to wrap it around the back of the cover, make sure everything's where I want it, like so. And then I'm going to glue that onto the back. So that's where you need to think about how it's all going to work together, because it's visible. And just a fun little added detail there, I think. Okay, my nose is dripping again. Please excuse me one moment. It just tells me how cold it actually is inside. A wee sip of my tea, which is quite cold at this point. Okay, so we have here the flippability. And then, oh, that's not quite straight, but that's all right. So you've got a little space in there, which is necessary to allow it to all flip up. Okay, so when it's dry, it'll be good as gold. And then, of course, each of those that then flips down for writing space. So that's that part. Super happy with how that came together. Now this part here, I would like to put a little pocket on, because why not? So I have this beautiful page, which was upside down, which is from Spring Bounty. Right, is a little bit sideways moving. So maybe we need to washi, or maybe what I might try first is I can washi it, but I'm going to try adding another whale tail on the underside. That might be enough to just make it more secure. and make this hinge part stronger. So we'll try that first, and then we can always like slap some washi or a hinge, paper hinge across if it's not holding it sufficiently for our liking. So this is what happens when you don't haven't planned things out so well or test run things. Come up with little issues that you've then got to resolve. But everything's able to be resolved. So, right, let's should be able to just line that up okay, and that looks cute. So it might not look so cute if we slap washi tape over top of it, but I can just put another one over top of that, you know. Let's layer it up. Why not? Right. So just lining it up with that little bit that I can see poking through the gap. Giving it a push in there so it meets with the other side. Yes, that's done the trick. It's no longer moving so much sideways. It's actually worked really well. So there we go. Yep, everything's still working with closure. Right, so let's do a little pocket. And I want it to go to about there, I think. So maybe we'll do this way so I can see what I'm doing. Pencil, where are you? And I want to fold this edge in under a little bit. So let's go to about there. Doesn't matter, that's just rough estimate. Put lid on my glue while I'm fluffing around. So this was my favourite new thing to use, and now I've got a new favourite. I've got a whale tail punch. It's just small things. Like, to me, the whale tail punch is not a small thing, because second hand they can go for quite pricey. I was assured this was picked up cheaply, you know, affordably at an op shop. So that's, you know, that's awesome. I have looked at whale tail punches online, and sometimes they are just like priced like gold, really are. Which is unfortunate that some people think it's an opportunity to make a mint. I understand it, but it's also a shame. Right, so I'm going to fold this in to reinforce the edge of our pocket, like so. Glue that with glue stick. And it cuts like a dream. Like, it works so well, and everything's perfect. I don't have to do go in with my scissors and trim out, because it doesn't perfectly match evenly. And, you know, like my hand cut ones, I'm forever fiddling and like, oh, there's white showing on there, I've got to trim that off, and then turn it over, and oh, there's a bit showing over there, so you trim that off, and it seems like you end up with something that's half the size of what you started with. Sometimes it works not too bad. Okay, so that's pretty good there. We want to ink that edge. Do I want to put a thumb notch in? I don't think we really need a thumb notch in there. Would it be cute? Maybe. Should we just do a smaller one? Normally I do my bigger punch, but maybe we'll just do a smaller one. Just a shallow. Maybe I'll turn it over so I can see how deep a chunk I'm taking. Putting it up the top, or more towards the top. Oh, and that didn't cut very well. Didn't let the glue dry. There we go. Cut most of it, just had a little section in the middle to cut out. Like that. Because it is a cute little detail, the old thumb notch. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. So I'm just trying to work out whether I glue first and then trim, or whether I trim and then glue. Because I don't want to get glue everywhere, but I don't want to have trouble lining it up either. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a little bit sneaky and fold over those corners that will end up being trimmed off. Like so, and then I know where to put the glue. There, gives me a couple of extra lines to glue along. Rather than 3, I've got 5. There we go. Now we've got to try, oops, just stuck my finger in the glue, that wasn't helpful. Oops, no, that's not in the right position. Yeah, that's better. There, that didn't go too badly. I think we're pretty much where I wanted to be. I've got a little bit of overhang here, which was also something I was noticing and throwing me off a bit. There we go, trim that off. And trim that off. So if you don't like the corners like this, exposed, don't use a tag. Or if you do use a tag, then just add a, a strip of paper or something on both sides. That gives you, because you can put your pocket and wrap your pocket around the front to cover over those corners if you don't like those corners being missing. But I kind of like that as a design feature. It's just something a bit different. Okay, and then we can make something to go in our pocket here. What have we got here? No, not that. Kind of what colours? We've got purple and yellow, we've got a little bit of blue. We could use this blue and make something. Let's trim this down and see what we can do. Whether we want to do a journal card or a tag or something, I'm not entirely sure. This is only one-sided, I didn't print it double-sided. Let's take the white off first. Oops, getting caught up in the bits I've punched out from the whale tail punch, catching on my sleeve. Get rid of those white bits to start with. Get them off my desk. Right. Now how high? Of course it is angled, so we haven't got as deep an area as what you would think. So bear that in mind. You either put it in part way or make it shorter and go further in. And I think I will go shorter. Let's go about here. If I can see my mark, that'll be the trick. Should have made it on the white side. Never mind, we can do this. There we go. go. How does it fit? Yes, it does. It fits. Okay, what I'm thinking is folding it into 3, leaving the whole length. Crease, it's roughly thirds, doesn't need to be precise. And that does not seem to be straight. And that's because I folded it crooked. Not because I cut it crooked, but because I folded it crooked. Let's just amend that. Force that crease where we want it. There we go. Check it fits again. And yes, that fits in there nicely. And I want to put another whale tail on because, you know, I'm just having, oops, crunch, so much fun. It's just so easy and quick. Maybe I'll go sideways this way. Make sure I've got it all in. Look at that. It's a dream. It really is a dream. Link around. I just had a sudden moment where I was like, did I push record? I was like, I don't remember pushing record. Unfortunately, I had. That would be horribly disappointing. On the other hand, you would then get a more polished video because I would have done a prototype and know what I was doing. But no, I have been recording, so I don't need to restart the project or do another one. Does that fit? Yes, it fits. Yay. I think I will ink up this piece. And I'm wondering, do I want to actually round the corners? That could be kind of fun as well. Just dress it up a little bit. Oh, making so many crumbs here. Crumbs for the mices, as in the mice. Oh, crumbs. It's a bit crummy, you know. Now running through my head is a whole lot of puns about crumbs. Or sayings about crumbs. There's a few that come to mind actually, surprisingly. There's more than one. Random things that go through my head, honestly. Really does drive me bananas. And I may have been off camera, I just realized. It's getting way too comfortable and relaxed here. I'm having fun. This is turning out really, really cool. I think it's cute. Not so much the crumbs. The crumbs aren't so cute, but they are a means to an end. And just a byproduct of what we do, isn't it? Right. Just people I've watched don't seem to have as many crumbs as what I do. So I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe I'm just special, you know. They're saying, just sponge, when I'm using you, you just drop all your crumbs on Belinda's desk. You know, don't drop them on mine. Just head on over to New Zealand and drop them on her desk. She'll deal with them. Yeah, I bet that's what's going on. All those wonderful crafters I watch are just sending me your crumbs because you know I will take care of them for you. And I will with pleasure. Anything to help out a friend. a fellow crafter. And I'm busy just making up a little story, aren't I? Okay, so we can put a little focal point on that. So why don't we do that? We've got some time. Got my bits here from Spring Bounty, which I've still got ample bits and pieces to play with. That's pretty, but I feel like it might be not enough contrast. Oh, what about something red? You haven't got red there. Is that too like different because there's no red anywhere else? Possibly. Could go pansies. They're cute. Well, we do have yellow as well on the front, so we could go yellow, you know, a bit more yellow than what's in the pansies. There's this pink one. That would actually fit. As she tosses it aside. What about this yellow one? Oh, I like that. Yes, I like the contrast of the yellow on the blue. Do I want book page? Do I want anything else? Label. I'm going to delve into one of the other kits. Sorry, there's feathers in this little pottle. That's from our little wax eye that Snuggles caught at the weekend. Left a whole bunch of feathers in our bathroom, so hubby collected them up for me and said, do you want some little feathers? And I was like, well, the bird hasn't got them anymore, so I might as well make use of them. Yeah, quite like the shape on that label. So these are labels from Days Gone by the Junk Journal Studio. So I'm just pulling out all the tricks from the Junk Journal Studio today, which is just fabulous. Love having all these bits and pieces that just coordinate really, really nicely together. It makes putting together a project so much fun. Right, so let's just pop that down in that corner. Fun bit there. Give this an ink. I'm just going to do this off camera just to save my desk from the crumb attack. It's raining crumbs all over my lap. I wish it was biscuit crumbs or cake crumbs. That sounds entirely divine. But then we would have little mices running around trying to get the crumbs, wouldn't we? Although they wouldn't last very long with the cats around. I don't think they would come in for the crumbs with and brave the 4 cats that we have. That would be asking for a short life, wouldn't it? Cute. Okay, let's pop that on there. Oh, if I can keep hold of it. Just trying to hold it by the very edge so I can glue to the edge, and sometimes my fingers don't cooperate as well as what they should. It's part of the arthritis, unfortunately. It was just in my right hand, but now my left hand is slowly developing it in some of the fingers as well. And it's just annoying because it affects your sense of touch, and sometimes you think you've got to hold on something and you don't. I've been dropping things so much lately. Things just slipping out of my hands, and fortunately no breakages, but just spills. There have been spills, but no breakages. Not for a while anyway. Yeah, that's cute. And it's just a little flip out extra writing space. I could stencil in there or ink it or do something, but I'm just going to leave it at this point. I've decided not to round the corners, but you certainly could. And then that will tuck in there. It's a little hidden, well, not hidden, but extra writing space. And then we could put something here as well. Got this little Pansy Flower Girl. She's a little bit more big. What about this one? Little Daffodil Fairy Girl. That's cute, but I think I want book page behind her. It's a wee bit tall. A little bit tall at the top there, sticking out where I don't want it. She looks like she's marching off. Maybe she was playing a flute or something, looking at the position of her hands. Looks like she's up, off somewhere to do something. I like that, and maybe a little label under her feet. Got some dust and lint and stuff in my container here. Get rid of that while I see it. I just want a thin label. It's quite a small one. Would that work? Maybe I need something longer. Maybe this one. Yeah, that one. Right. And cut the label, just a little lick around the edges because it's got a black border. But just to take care of my poor fussy cutting, where I've left some white behind. Again, just doing the inking of this flower girl off camera, just to avoid those crumbs on my desk, because otherwise I spend half my time brushing crumbs off the desk, and that's kind of gets a bit boring for you and I. Right, there we go. Doesn't take long to ink. Right, let's pop this down. Sorry, I'm gluing off camera as well, I realised. Way over to the side there. And this label. So when we went out for my mum's birthday, my oldest brother couldn't make it because he had to work, and so none of his family came, and they went to my mum's later that evening and caught up with her. But Mum had given me the birthday present for one of my nephews, so they weren't able to pick it up when they went to visit her because I had it, and they were supposed to come and pick it up from me, and that was like 2.5 weeks ago, and it's still sitting here. They haven't picked it up yet. And my oldest nephew and my brother both work in this town where I live, so like it wouldn't be hard for them to pop in after work, one of them, and pick it up for my middle nephew. But no, it's still sitting here, poor lad. Still sitting here. And he turned, did he turn 15 or 16? He must have turned 16. So he's got some goodies, some edible goodies, and some money that he hasn't got yet. And I've just been too busy to take it around for them. Right, that's the thing about when you're working from home. It's not like you're on your way out and you can just do it on your way, because I am where I work. I'm not going out. Right, there we go. Oh, we need to decorate the front. Have we got time? We've got a couple of minutes. Let's do something on the front. I mean, it's beautiful. It doesn't really need anything, but you know, we are going to. That's cute. That's really cute. But I'm thinking, do I want something that's more vertical than that? What about this with the birdie? Oh, I like that. Yep, sold. Sold to the birdie. Thinking about, do I want anything behind it? Do I want book page or a scrap of paper or something? Got a bit of that stripy yellow to my side. Keeping my cold cup of tea company, which I just realised I haven't drunk for the last, I don't know how long, 20 minutes probably. Yeah, just confirmed it's cold. Just, you know, in case you were wondering whether it was actually cold, it is. Oh, I think that's lovely. Do I want to put a little bit of something in behind? Yeah, let's do that, just because it's a scrap on my desk and we can put it on there and then it's one less scrap. And I kind of think it just adds a little something, doesn't it? Give it an ink, just to add a little bit of extra definition. Can be hard to cover over the digitals when they're so pretty, but you know, I can print again. It's the beauty of digitals. You can do it one way one time and next time you can make it the star and not cover it over. So versatile. And I have to keep telling myself, don't be afraid to cover over things. It all just adds to the overall beauty of the end product. You're not covering over something pretty to make it ugly. You're covering over something pretty to make it pretty, or prettier even. So yes, I've got to keep telling myself, don't be afraid to cover it over, to layer it up. I do like that. I think that was a good choice. So I even went round this little fussy cut and cut all the little divots out of the stamp frame, which is well worth doing if you want to take the time. It just really does finish it off nicely. You don't have to, you could just do a square cut, but cutting the little divots out, it's one of those activities I actually quite enjoy because the result is worth it. Go, little birdie, you're going to live on the front there in this eclectic florals journal. So you could go further, you could decorate the back if you wanted. I think that is actually good journaling space as well. You could add some bits and pieces on here if you choose. You could stamp it or stencil it, but I'm just going to leave it like that because I think that is super fun. I think that's a really fun, interactive, usable piece, and just that additional whale tail hinge there just stops it moving sideways like it was with just the one. And then our little extra bit here, you could do a journal card instead, or coffee dyed paper folded up, whatever, just tucked in there. Super fun. And it's actually still really thin, so it's not super bulky, and yet it's got all that writing space in there. Well, that was fun. That was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed making that. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope it's given you some ideas. Please don't be afraid to experiment. You know, if you don't have guest checks or these tags, I mean, you can go and grab these for free, so why wouldn't you? But if you don't have these things, then just use what you've got and make up your own dimensions. Use whatever, you know, you could use any form for this, or any other bit of paper that you like. So it's just an idea. have a play with it, have fun. Super cute. Thanks so much for joining me today, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you back real soon. Bye.